Now, do you want me in?
Actually, yeah, Rob's got share on that.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're back here at Xerocon at Sholto McPherson for Digital First, and I have a very interesting question for a very interesting person. Mel Power is the head of bookkeeping for Xero, and she has been working with lots of bookkeepers across the country to increase their revenues. And it's been one of the questions that has been in the back of my mind is, what is the future of bookkeeping? Because all these accounting firms we're seeing, all these Xero accounting firms, are adding bookkeeping divisions because they want control of the data. They want to be able to say, yes, we've processed all the data ourselves, and so we have confidence in the reports that we're doing, and we can do our real-time analysis and that kind of thing. So the question I have is bookkeeping going to remain separate, or will we see all the accounting firms start to employ the bookkeepers? I'm also very lucky to have with us Rob Stone, who is, now what is your title, Rob?
Territory Manager of New South Wales and ACT.
Rolls off the tongue. Territory Manager for ACT and New South Wales for Xero. And so I'm going to ask a question first to Mel, and Rob's also going to pitch in too. And here we go. Here's Mel.
Hi, Sholto.
So Mel, what's the future? Will accounting firms employ all the bookkeepers, do you think?
Absolutely not. Bookkeeping has been very much entrenched in the part of our history with the services that we've been providing to small business. And as much as we work with accountants, and I actually have an accounting firm myself as well as a bookkeeping firm, that one-on-one personal relationship, being on the ground, out in the trenches, understanding what's going on a daily level with small businesses is still something that they want to have. So, and I think it really depends on what the small business wants. So if you've got an accounting firm that's offering that suite of services, it may suit some of their clients, but it isn't necessarily going to suit all of their clients. I think it's really about offering that wider range of service and finding that right fit for the small business.
So it's really interesting that you're in that position of having an accounting firm and a bookkeeping firm. That's quite amazing. Do you see a difference in the type of clients, either in the size of the clients or in the personalities of the business owners, that make one want to have an on-premise bookkeeper or a closer relationship with the bookkeeper versus one that say wants a monthly meeting with an accountant and you can do the management reports then?
I think it really gets back to it's all about relationship. If you think about the way that we as humans form relationships with other people in our personal lives, that same principle applies in business. So for a small to medium-sized accounting firm where you've got the principals very, very involved in the practice, and the same with a bookkeeping firm, they're going to attract clients that actually really resonate with their personal style, also maybe the way that they communicate. That's what will draw us together, whereas you may find that some of the larger firms may attract a different style of client. For example, I know in my own firm we deal with small boutique mums and dads style businesses. We're from a country town, we deal a lot with hospitality. That's where we really feel comfortable, and our clients like that as well. So I think it's all about relationship, and like attracting like is where it's really stemming from.
What do you think about the fees though? Because we're seeing, if you look at the platinum partners that were on the screen before, they all do bundles, right? And it's a couple of $100 a month, and you get the daily reconciliations or weekly reconciliations for the bank accounts, plus some management reports thrown in, plus your annual tax returns and financial statements. There's a lot there that you're getting for several $100. What is the value proposition then for a bookkeeping firm that can't also do the tax return stuff? Do you think that there'll be, for new clients, they'll be attracted to the accounting firm over a standalone bookkeeper?
Again, I think it's back to the individual client. A lot of bookkeepers at the moment that are operating in that small business economy are very, very close to their clients. So we're actually almost working within their business with them, and sometimes we're even speaking to them daily about what's going on in the life of their business. We're recording the transactions, we're monitoring their cash flow, we're doing all that really hands-on stuff. Sometimes in a larger organisation, sometimes you don't get that same connectivity. Again, it depends on what the small business wants. So in value-based, sure, with the larger economy scales that you can actually provide that bundled service and get a suite of services, but on the smaller boutique end of practitioners, you can still get value, but often find that you're getting a little bit more personal service just because we're more connected to our clients and we aren't quite as big. So I think it's really up to the client about understanding what they want within their business and finding the right fit with the advisor of their choice that's going to meet their needs.
Okay, fantastic. And Rob, what are your thoughts? You mentioned earlier that you're very bullish on bookkeepers. Do you see then that there's not going to be a merging of the industries? You think bookkeepers have got a lot of potential as a standalone industry?
Well, I think first off, Shelter, I completely agree with what Mel's saying. People do business with people that they like, and regardless of the service offering, if you're getting A-grade service because you may be a small, nimble operation, sometimes that really resonates with certain types of businesses. So there's always going to be a space for small business in Australia to operate and deal with smaller operations on the advisory side. But for me, what I think is really exciting and why I am bullish on the bookkeepers is when I went to an ICB conference just the other day, the breadth of technical knowledge that they need to know is just mind-blowing, to the point where I go so far as to say, the ATO has almost mandated the survival and the guaranteeing bookkeeper industry is going to thrive just because of the complexity in the legislation. Now that's at the compliance end, but then you can build advisory on top of that. But and also accounting firms bringing in-house bookkeeping operations. I think that's a really good weather vane for telling you what's happening in the bookkeeping industry. If there wasn't margins there or there wasn't some benefit, they wouldn't be doing it.
But isn't the goal of online accounting software to automate that legislative side so that the software makes the decisions, they can follow the rules?
Yes, you're right. In part, I'd actually make a further distinction saying that automating the information for the interpretation of the legislation, and that's a distinction. The ATO, there's many different ways of reading the rules, and I think sometimes you have to look at superstream. Sometimes the rules that are coming through, they're a work in progress, so there is room for interpretation for the application.
I think that actually relates back to an article that you actually released about automation and the robots are coming, that as much as we can automate those processes and the data, we still have to have an advisor to verify the data, to check it and actually understand and explain to the client what the information means. And one of the most incredibly basic things that we might even look at our own personal finances to think, where did my money go this month? Bookkeepers, that is the key thing that we're involved with helping our clients, is helping them understand about that process.
Fantastic. All right, Mel, thank you very much. Rob, thank you.
Thanks, Shelter.
And I just around. So we're going to be having a couple more Periscope videos later on today. We've got some very interesting product announcements coming up. There's about 7 product managers going to come on stage and talk about what's happening on the practice management side of things. This big automation push with their rewriting the software there. And also Ben Stiles is going to be talking about financial services. That's going to be one to watch. Thanks for watching. This is Shelter McPherson for Digital First at Xerocon Melbourne 2015.